defendant please rise? With regard to count one, we, the jury in the above captioned case, find the defendant, Brooke Skylar Richardson, not guilty of the offense of aggravated murder, and there appear to be 12 jury signatures affixed. Verdict form 2, involuntary manslaughter. We, the jury in the above captioned case, do hereby find the defendant, Brooke Skylar Richardson, not guilty of the offense of involuntary manslaughter. Count 3, child endangerment. We, the jury, find the defendant, Brooke Skylar Richardson, not guilty of child endangerment. It does say we further find the defendant did not cause serious physical harm to the alleged victim, but that finding is not necessary as a matter of law. Verdict form number 4, we, the jury in the above captioned case, find the defendant, Brooke Skylar Richardson, guilty of the offense of abuse of a corpse. Ladies and gentlemen, are those the verdicts of the jury?
Yes, sir.
You may be seated.
What up, y'all? This your boy JB, aka Spoken, and I am back with another thing of unspoken truth. Nah, we got some crazy news, right? We got some white privilege news, but I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. An Ohio woman who buried her newborn in the backyard will serve no more jail time. Now, if you all didn't see it, I saw it around the internet. I saw it on WorldStar. It was ranked number 1. I saw it on Instagram. I saw a whole bunch of black people going in saying that they had to been a black person, da 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 da. Y'all know how this junk go. So I guess what ended up happening was a white girl, she was acquitted of murdering her baby. It was manslaughter. And all people could do was just react to the verdict and just react to the video. So, from the outside looking in, when you're looking at this case or you're looking at this video, all you see is a blonde-haired white girl getting acquitted of murder charges, burying her baby in the backyard. That's all you know. All you know is that the baby got buried in the backyard. All you know is that she got not guilty and she was found guilty of corpse or whatever. Something about corpse, abuse of corpse, which means a dead body, abuse of a dead body. It's the only thing she was found guilty of, but was found not guilty on everything else. Now, of course, from the outside looking in, we looking at it like, bruh, if that was somebody black, bro, we would be under the jail, which might be true, you know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to something like this and a newborn and burying a baby in the backyard. So, of course, when you hear something like this, the first thing you're thinking is, well, dang, you know what I'm saying? Like what happened, and you might not want to look deep into it because we don't want to look deep into stuff because in this day and age, headlines can be so misleading. We can just take it for what it is and just run with it. So I went back and I started reading on the stuff, and I'm gonna tell y'all what came up, and I'm finna get into this stuff. So now, on this thing of unspoken truth, I'm gonna bring up some things that people probably can take into consideration. All people, all races and walks of life, because I see something different in this whole thing, and I see why she got the treatment that she got. So here it is. I'm gonna read the reports. An Ohio woman was found guilty of abuse of corpse in connection with the death of her newborn daughter, was sentenced Friday to 3 years of basic supervision but would serve no more jail time. As part of the sentence, Brooke Skylar Richardson, 20, was to spend 7 days in the county jail, but Warren County Judge Donald credited her with time already served. Should she violate any terms of her supervision, Richardson could face up to 12 months behind bars, the judge said. Richardson had been found not guilty of aggravated murder, involuntary manslaughter, and child endangerment in the case, which has gone on for more than 2 years since the remains of her newborn daughter Annabelle were found buried in her backyard. The infant's remains will be released to the Richardson family, which will provide a proper burial and give access to site to the family of the baby's father. "I'm forever sorry," Richardson said prior to sentencing. When the verdicts were read out Thursday, Richardson sobbed before she was led out of the courtroom in handcuffs. The infant's paternal grandmother spoke at the hearing, telling the court that she had struggled to find the right words to describe the pain she endured since learning of her grandchild, who would have been 2 years, 4 months, and 1 week old. Broken, shattered, destroyed, she said. None of them seemed to fit the amount of pain I have felt since we found out that not only did I lose my first grandchild, but my baby, who I would lay my life down for without a thought, lost his first child, and Skylar had no intention of letting us know. The defense and Richardson's father asked for leniency, citing her compliance with the requirements of her pretrial supervision. I will do anything and above that you ask, and I understand, and I just want to say how sorry I was. I can sometimes be selfish, but I would like to think that I've become better in the knowledge that I've upset everyone and hurt so many people with what I've done. Before handing down the sentence, the judge addressed the defendant, telling her, I've always sort of thought of this case, Miss Richardson, as the story of two little girls, Skylar Richardson and Annabelle Richardson. I think what often gets overlooked is just how precious life is, he said. Your life, Annabelle's life is precious, and it should be protected, and it should be guarded with all respects. The maximum possible sentence Oda could have granted was 12 months in prison and a $2,500 fine, but the judge called the case mandatory community control case, since Richardson had no prior criminal record, among other criteria. That limited him to ordering a sentence of, at most, 6 months in the county jail, he said, which prosecutors called for. Richardson delivered her baby at home in her bedroom the night of May 7, 2017, when she was 18. 2 months after the baby she named Annabelle was born, investigators found the skeletal remains in a shallow grave with a flower on top placed by Richardson, according to the affiliate. The sheriff's office started an investigation that led to the remains after Richardson showed up at her doctor's office where she'd taken a pregnancy test without a baby, prosecutors said in closing arguments. Prosecutors said when the doctor asked, she burst into tears and said the baby was not alive at childbirth and she buried her in the backyard. Prosecutors painted a picture of a teen who was in a new relationship at the time and wanted nothing to do with the baby or the man who impregnated her. They alleged she killed the baby after she gave birth in the middle of the night, believing she'd have no future as a mother. Upon finding out that she was pregnant by the boy she had nothing to do with, Brooke Richardson burst into tears and told the doctor that she could not have this baby. Prosecutor Steve Nipkin told jurors, according to the station. It said prosecutors showed the court a picture of her at the gym hours after giving birth and said she sent a text message to her mother. My belly is back. OMG, I am never, ever letting it get like this again. You're about to see me looking freaking better than before. OMG, the text message said, according to Nipkin. Her defense team said that there was no evidence the baby was born alive. Richardson had maintained that Annabelle was not moving or breathing when she was born, her defense team said. She buried her daughter and marked the grave with flowers on top of it. She didn't throw her in the trash can. She didn't throw her in a dumpster, defense team Roger Ritzker said. According to the affiliate, she was living under this dark cloud for the last 2 years, living, quite frankly, a nightmare. Now, let me go ahead and get into this. Now, y'all know I had to go and look and see what the laws of the land was, because this sounds kind of crazy to me. So, the whole abortion thing be getting crazy. They've been passing abortion laws saying that you can't abort babies after a certain amount of weeks. So I had to go back and look. And it said that Ohio, a federal judge has blocked Ohio's 6-week abortion ban, basically saying that, hey, if it's after 6 weeks, you can't abort no dang on baby. So let me, that's why I had to put that out there. So now that y'all actually know what this sounds like and y'all know the entire thing, let me go ahead and make my little judgment and give my little 2 cents. Shit. Get that bitch 8 years. I would have gave that helper 8 goddamn years. In the defense of the baby, the baby never got a shot. So I'm only calling my judgment just from the baby's point of view. It's already bad enough the baby not gonna live a full life. And you talking about how you want your life back, and you send your mama a text message talking about you got your belly back and shit like that, and then you bury this baby in the backyard, didn't even have the decency to put no blanket over the baby or nothing like that, because I read that on something else too. She didn't even put no blanket over the baby or nothing. She just buried the baby and threw that joke up in there and then put a flower over it. That's what supposedly she did. So this is a situation where a lot of women go through, and this is why they be out here protesting the way they do and going hard in the paint about these abortion laws, because truth be told, man, how can we really tell a woman what to do with her body? I mean, it might be jacked up at the time, you might feel some type of way, but you ain't that woman. And this shit was very selfish that she pulled, extremely selfish. If that had been a black person, it would have been 20-30 years or life automatically. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and say life, because that's Ohio. They would have thrown a nigga under the jail. Let that would have been LaQuisha or Keisha or somebody or anybody. You know what I mean? Shoot, it's over. It's over for a black person. And this junk is really, really crazy, man. She get the, she about to be walking the streets again. Didn't really serve nothing, and if she violate, she only get up to 12 months behind bars. That ain't really nothing. So, and did y'all know also too, she can get her whole criminal record erased after her probation is up. She got 3 years probation, and after her probation is over with, she can get her criminal record erased. Now, if that ain't white privilege, I don't know what the hell is, bruh. If that ain't white privilege, I don't know what the hell is. But I will say this too. It ain't no but. But I'll say this too. This is what happens when you make these type of laws, and when you restrict women from having abortion. Some take it to this measure, and that's exactly what she did. She felt like she wanted to have a baby on her own. She wanted to go to college. She wanted to have her life back, and she delivered the baby on her own. She could have died. She could have actually died. The baby ended up dying, and it's jacked up. So it wasn't nothing but men that came up with those laws anyway, and I get it. You want to spare life. But at the same time, this is the measure that some women take it. And I'm pretty sure this ain't the only case around the world that happened in states that restricts, abortion past 6 weeks. You know how short 6 weeks is? There's women walking around that been pregnant for 2 whole goddamn months and they didn't even know that they were pregnant. And they go to the doctor and find out, oh damn, I got a baby in there. So you're talking about 6 weeks. So like I say, bruh, old Becky done got her little white pass. And like I say, compared to a black life, she got it easy. She got a slap on the wrist, and she only got charged with abuse of corpse. That's just basically abusing a dead body. That's pretty much it. But I just want y'all to look at this type of situation and understand that, man, look, man, take your ass to the goddamn doctor and tell your people what the fuck going on. Alright? Otherwise you won't have your ass in this shit. And also too, man, when it comes to the laws of the land, let's just be real. The laws, the maximum penalties are really made for black folks or people of color. So, and the minimum sentences are really made for people who are white. That's just what it is. The maximum sentences are always for niggas. Period. They hit some white people across the head with the maximum sentences. Of course, there's a lot of white people that got the maximum sentences. But usually, in a case of a nigga, a black person, they would have got the max. So I'm gonna tell you, as a judge, just being fair, what I would have gave the heifer, I would have gave her a solid 8 or 10. I'm gonna say 10. I'm gonna say 10 just based off them text messages. You ain't have no compassion at all about that baby. And I understand the baby was probably looking crazy. It was like a little fetus or whatever. Like, it wasn't even an infant. You feel me? The baby wasn't even an infant. It wasn't even a whole infant. It was a baby fetus. So, that's not something that you really want to look at. That's something you hold in the palm of your hand. So I understand how she was able to bury that baby and they couldn't find it. The fact that they about to get the remains back and have a whole funeral for the baby, I mean, hey, it is what it is. Do what you do. But bro, I would have gave Becky 10, at least 8 to 10. All for real. All fucking real. But I ain't no judge, and she got off the hook. She good. So hey, it is what it is. But before y'all start going in on the internet, make sure y'all look into stuff, read up on stuff, and then you'll see it from a different perspective. Because when I saw the headline, I was just thinking about some white woman who just killed her baby and buried him and got off. I'm like, now what kind of shit is this, nigga? But now that I see what happens, I understand. So hey, it ain't right. She damn sure was selfish. Old Becky done got off with flying colors. But y'all know, this is America. Peace.